Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you my top tips that are either really cheap or totally free ways to stage your home to sell it quickly. Alright, if you're new here, my name is Claire and this channel is all about mom stuff, lady stuff, and life stuff. So definitely hit that subscribe button down below if you haven't already. And if you are returning, thank you so much for coming back and supporting me. You might already know then that we recently put our house up for sale. Just to give you a little update, we sold it in 7 days. It was only on the market for 7 days. We had, I think 7 showings in that amount of time and an offer right away. So, obviously, I am not a real estate professional. I'm just a regular person with a regular home who tried really hard to do anything I could that didn't cost anything to get my home ready. I know that a lot of videos that I looked at when I was like researching, okay, how am I gonna do this? You needed quite a large budget. They want you to get new furniture, they want to like different lighting and like painting your whole house different, and like if you have like a really expensive house and you like need a new floor or a new kitchen in order to sell it, like I get that, but this video isn't like that. These are just small things that you can do to get your house ready to sell, and because our house sold really fast, I'm thinking that some of these things really did help that to happen. So let's get into it. Here is my list. The first thing you need to do is clean. And when I say clean, I mean really clean. You might need to hire someone to help you, and that's like totally cool and totally worth like maybe the $20 an hour it would cost. But that kind of is up to you, how many people you have helping you or how terrible your house is. But I'm talking your windows, your ceiling fans, your baseboards. I mean clean everything. Now we've been searching for houses and looking at houses, you know, to move into, and when a house is dirty, even though I know that like sometimes my house is dirty, like that's normal, it really makes you think, well, maybe these people don't take really good care of their house. And while that might not be true, you don't want anyone to get that impression when they walk in. You want people to say, wow, this house is really clean. That probably means, you know, that they regularly service their air conditioning, and they probably also, you know, change their filter on their furnace accordingly. And, you know, it kind of just sets up the people looking at your house into thinking that, wow, they probably have really taken good care of this house and I can trust that. So even if you have taken good care of your house and it's not clean, like it's just a perception people have. So clean your house, like for real. All right, my second tip is if you are deciding to repaint, and this will cost you a little bit of money, but not that much in the grand scheme of things. Paint is actually a really inexpensive way to really change an entire room. I would suggest you go with really light and neutral colors. You don't want anything that is really personal or wild because it's not going to fit everybody's taste. And of course, light is where it's all at. Now that I'm a YouTuber, every house we've looked at, I'm like, this light isn't good. Like, I'm all about the lighting. So the light color will definitely make your house feel more open and airy. If you don't have it in the budget to repaint, or if your paint colors are already really light and neutral, like the ones in my house, almost every room in our house is either like some form of gray or blue. So we decided not to repaint. It wasn't going to be worth it for us. But we did go through and patch up any paint that has like skid marks or scuffs on it, any nail holes that need to be patched. We really made sure that the paint looked fresh, even though we weren't repainting the whole room. We really wanted to make sure that it had that crisp look everywhere throughout the house. We touched up our trim, and it really only took maybe 20 minutes to do that to the whole house. Little spots here and there, and that will make a really big difference to a buyer. My next tip is to do a serious declutter. Like, I have 2 children, so we have a ton of like Fisher-Price plasticky items. We actually either put it in our garage, in our basement, or we got rid of it. We really tried to like get rid of a ton of stuff, donate it to like a thrift store, and the rest we're like putting in bins and boxes like in the basement. We want all of our surfaces to be fresh and clean looking. We want someone to walk in and imagine their things there, not our things. So decluttering is a huge one. Even try to declutter some of your furniture. If you have a room with a lot of bulky furniture, like very large dressers, large bed, you know, like stuff that takes up entire walls, you might want to think about popping that into storage for a while, just because large bulky furniture makes a room look a lot smaller, and it might be harder for a buyer to envision their own things in there if there's a lot of like overpowering furniture. So decluttering is huge. You can even rent a storage space depending on where you are. It's not super expensive to do that. We haven't done that. We've just put all of it in our basement, and that has made our house look so much more crisp and clean and inviting, just getting rid of all of the extra stuff laying around. My next tip is something that I did before each and every showing, and around an hour before the showing was scheduled, I went through the house and I opened all of the windows. I know when I go to people's houses, or you probably notice this too, everyone has like a smell that they just smell like. I think it's like a combination of like the laundry detergent you use plus like your cleaning routine and stuff like that. Like everybody's house has like a slight scent, and you don't want anybody walking in and smelling yours like very strongly. And you can use candles or Febreze or wax melts, but I find that some people are allergic to those things, or they don't want to be hit with a strong odor of any type. So I think natural air is the best way to do that. So because it's winter here, I did have to make sure that I closed them all and let the house get back up to temperature before anybody came. But I did just turn all the fans on, open all the windows, make sure that it was nice and fresh and not stuffy at all in here, and that it was nice fresh air that the buyers were breathing in, and just making it more comfortable. My next tip might cost you a couple dollars, and that is to paint your front door. Now, most doors, depending on the size, you don't need more than about a quart of paint, which will run you anywhere between $10 and $15 depending on where you shop. And that is such a cheap way to really make your house stand out. The outside of the house is the first thing that a potential buyer is going to see. And I actually got the idea to do this from Trulia.com, which is like a real estate website. We browse it all the time because we're house shopping, but they also have articles and like ideas for like homeowners and home buying and all sorts of stuff. And they suggested to paint your front door, and I can't remember, I guess I could look it up. I'll leave it down below if I can find it, like the actual article. But it was like, you can like increase your list price by like X percentage just by like painting your front door. It was crazy. So like a statement door, something fun or interesting, something that contrasts really nicely with like the color of the rest of your house. We painted our front door dark blue. We actually did this a few months ago, but we have loved having the statement door, and we think it looks really trendy and really cool. And I know that that first impression of them walking through the statement door, they know they're going to find similar, interesting, trendy things throughout the home that they're going to love. So I definitely think the statement door makes a wonderful first impression. Speaking of first impressions, get the outside of your house looking good. Now, you don't need to spend a ton of money to make that happen. The first thing you need to do is make sure that your grass is mowed if it's that time of year, that all your leaves are picked up if it's that time of year. And right now, of course, I'm in Michigan, so we have to make sure everything is shoveled. We've had a lot of snow during this whole time that we've had viewings, so we really need to make sure that their first impression isn't them falling down trying to walk up the stairs. So we're making sure everything's shoveled and that we've got salt out, and that it's very easily accessible. But depending on the time of year, another thing that is like a super sure way to make your house look amazing is to power wash it. Now, if you have like a house that's got wooden siding, like obviously there are some reasons that you couldn't do that, but for us, we have vinyl siding. And a lot of houses that we've looked at to potentially buy, I think one of the first things that comes out of my husband's mouth or eye is, oh, this house really needs a bath. And it's just like another way to show people that this house has been cared for. We love this house. If you move in, it is ready for you to love too. There's not a lot you need to do here. We've taken care of it. And we actually go to Home Depot and rent a power washer. It's like $100, I think. So that one would cost you a little bit more unless you already have a power washer or you know someone with a power washer. But it just makes the biggest difference. It was actually the same time we painted the front door, we also power washed the house. And oh my gosh, it just looked like a different house, like being so nice and clean. So definitely think about that one too. My last tip for you is to really take a good look at your decor and decide if it is something that might be a little too extreme for the average person. I tend to kind of go a little bit more eclectic when it comes to my decor. So I kind of went around and tried to rein myself in and take away any pieces that were like a little bit too weird or funky. You don't want it to look so personal in your house that someone thinks they're walking into your house. This could be my house. My children could live in these rooms. I could go to sleep here. This could be my home. So remove anything super wild. This kind of ties into the paint color. If you have like, I don't know, like a zebra print wall, you might want to get rid of that. Another thing you should do is take away any photos you have around the house. You don't want people to feel like they're looking into your life. I think that that's very deterring to me when I'm looking at homes. I don't want to be like walking in a room and seeing like a kid's name on the wall and seeing baby pictures of them. It feels very intrusive. It makes me not want to like buy their house because I feel like this is someone's room, this is someone's home and not mine. So that feeling, I wanted to make sure that nobody had that feeling when they walked into my house. So I just put all of our family photos into a bin, and then when we go to move, we'll have that bin, we can take them right out and put them in our new house where we can enjoy them. All right, you guys, those are just a taste of some of the things that we did around this house to make sure it was ready to go. If you have any great staging tips, leave them down below, because if anybody's out there watching this, they're probably trying to get tips. So it would be great if we could start a dialogue down below for anybody who wants any more advice or tips on how to stage. And of course, make sure you hit that subscribe button because you can look forward to some more real estate themed videos. We did put an offer in on a house and we just have like a few more days to wait to see if we got it. So there will be a lot of decorating and shopping, home hauls, some kitchen stuff. So if you are interested in that at all, definitely stick around. I do post new videos every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday, and I would love to have you along. And I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye!